U.S. House and Senate committees, among others, are investigating allegations of Russian interference in last year's presidential election. To get some perspective, we sat down with former Senate Intelligence Committee staffer and Mount Holyoke College professor of politics, Chris Pyle.
It's unfortunate the House committee has so seriously been compromised that I don't think it's going anywhere. I can't imagine they're going to rebuild it from that debris. The Senate committee has still got possibilities. And really the question is whether we compare the Senate committee with a special prosecutor or a special commission. There are a variety of those. My guess is we're stuck with the Senate committee for the time being. But if different kinds of information come out, particularly if evidence of criminal conduct comes out, then you might go to a special prosecutor. Unfortunately, the special prosecutor device was seriously discredited by Judge Starr when he went after Bill Clinton for very minor criminal activity.
Obviously, as we said in the introduction, you had worked with various Senate investigative committees in years past. You were with the Church Committee in the mid-'70s, and they were looking at military and domestic surveillance, which is illegal for our international agencies to be involved in. But clearly this has been something long-term and long time. I know you wrote a book in 2010, The Constitution Under Siege. You wrote a book in 2009, Getting Away with Torture, Secret Government, War Crimes, The Rule of Law. From what I take from your reading or your research, your work, the things we're worried about now are not particularly new.
The possibility of serious connections between a presidential administration and a major foreign rival, that's new. I don't think we've ever had that. We always have had enough suspicion of the Russians, of the Soviet Union, to keep us united on that dimension. Now it appears the Republican Party is not worried about what used to be the great communist empire. And that's serious.
Folks have been fascinated, and I think to some extent it kind of led to more people looking into the whole Russian connection, if there is one, of Donald Trump, who criticizes everybody, it seems, every chance he gets, has nothing but good to say about a guy that almost everybody else criticizes all the time, Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia. It's a fascinating turn, it seems.
Well, it's a fascinating turn because so many people on his campaign staff have had essentially clandestine connections with Soviet intelligence, the most recent being the founder of, Blackwater, who happens to be the brother of the Secretary of Education. And he had a meeting in the Seychelles Islands for 2 days with a Russian businessman, if you will. That's a kind of a euphemism for oligarchs and a kleptomaniac society. And we don't know yet what went on in those discussions, but he's not the first. Before that, the new president's national security advisor was having meetings. The president's son-in-law has been having meetings. It makes you wonder. And when you have to wonder about that, you can't trust people.
A while back in an interview with Fox News for the Super Bowl, so it would have been early February, the interviewer asked, and it was Bill O'Reilly as it happens, said to President Trump, he said, Vladimir Putin, why do you praise him? Why do you say good things about him? He's a killer. He's a murderer. And the president, I think, shook a lot of people when he said, we're not so innocent. But it sounds like a lot of what you're saying, the history shows we're not so innocent in many ways.
That's what the Church Committee found out, and we've had episodes of that since. But these are matters of proportion, scale, and intent. The most recent reports to come out of Russia are really reports of warfare among oligarchs, where oligarchs are dying, where protesters are dying. They're being thrown out of windows. They're being assassinated with poisons. It's really a different situation.
So when
We haven't gone that far.
our president says we're not so innocent, and his interviewer is saying, wait a minute, what about the leader of Russia, who we believe is a killer? There's no equivalence there, is what you're saying.
No, there's no equivalence, but we're not so innocent.
Fair enough. I've got to ask you, you've spent a lifetime studying, writing about this. How worried are you about the path you see our country on today in terms of civil liberties, domestic surveillance or lack thereof, or the rules to control and curtail it, our personal and political freedoms? How worried are you?
I'm very seriously worried, but we always should be. We should have not worry. The problem that I see today that worries me the most is the combination of large amounts of money in campaign contributions going to political leaders that makes possible for an oligarch in our society to become president. The fact that many oligarchs have considerable influence in Congress, and that a number of corporations in the high-tech industry have gotten into partnership with the intelligence agencies, particularly the National Security Agency. And that worries me greatly, because that may be a combination that cannot be restrained. We've restrained and beaten back the intelligence community in times past, but it's getting more and more difficult. The ways in which they can really cripple their critics are enormous, and if they choose to use that power on their critics, we're not going to have much liberty left.
Professor Chris Pyle, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate your time, sir.
Well, thank you.